Hi guys, it's Debbie here. Thanks for joining me again. We are coming near to completion working on our junk journals. Today we're going to be working on making our journaling cards. Now journaling cards, as you know, are the fun journaling opportunities that we're going to be using to tuck into all the lovely little hidey-hole tuck spots that we have in our books, in our journals. So anyway, let's not delay and let's get started. I'll just push that out the way. I have a couple of examples here that I've worked on ahead of time. Not quite finished with this one here. This one's going to be my front cover one. So far, that's what I think. Here's one, and then I've got just some blank ones here, and some in varying degrees of doneness, but I wanted you just to have a quick look and see what it is that we can do with them. This one has some magazine pieces on it, an old book, a piece of a doily that's stuck on. I've stuck a little sticker on there, put up a little fabric over there, and we have a little bit of the crunched up coffee dyed paper on the side there. So that will be your journaling opportunity on the back. I have done the edges, I've antiqued the edges, and I've put a little stamp on that kind of ties in the flower theme on the front. So that's what I've done so far. The back of this one, I have I've antiqued the edges, and then I've used a stencil, and I've just used a little pad, little makeup pad actually, and dipped it in my stamp pad, and we've done the stencil down the edge. But we'll do some of those together so you'll get to see how it goes. So anyway, that's it so far. Some of them I haven't done the backs of yet, which is fine. I'll get to that. We will work on them together, and that one is not completed. But anyway, I wanted you just to have a look and see what we're going to be working on. There's another one, slightly different. I've put a tie on this one already. This is just a cutout from a magazine, literally. I've put a little saying on there, a little piece of fabric, and as well, I've just, as a little bit of lace, shabby lace, I've used some of the scrunched up coffee dyed paper sitting on a dictionary page. And then, because it's such a dark sheet of paper, you could write on this with a gold pen, but not everybody has a gold pen or a light colored pen at their fingertips. So I've put some journaling opportunity on the back with a piece of exercise paper, and I've antiqued it, and I put a little stamp on there. So now it's a completed card. Pull that out, and today I'm going to write about blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's the purpose of them. So let's get rolling. These are some blank ones that we may or may not get to. I have some prepared ahead of time, so we'll see as we go. I don't want this video to be 5 hours long, because you can get quite carried away doing these things, and before you know it, hours have gone by and you've been having so much fun. So let's put that aside. I want to show you some of the things that I use to get to help me with the decorating. This, of course, is cardstock, and I cut this from just office cardstock that I happen to have in the house. It's plain white, boring, but who cares? This was plain white and boring too. This was plain white and boring, and look at it now. So that's fine. Any cardstock you have, it could be the harder, stiffer side of the back end of a magazine. You can use that too, because we're just going to cover it up, and not to worry, that's perfectly fine if you don't have any cardstock. If you have a kit, there's cardstock in your kits that you can choose to use as well. Okay. I always have some old book pages on hand, and these come from a couple of old books. I love the yellowed look. They're just beautiful. Just love it. These are children's book, and be very careful about what you decide to tear up. Like, don't reach for a Harold Robbins or something like that, because you don't want any raunchy business or F-bombs on your paper. So just be careful of that. Go for something that's family friendly. These are from an old magazine. I think it's like an old, what magazine was it? I'm not sure. Some old country living magazine. Not that old, really. I think this one was back in the 70s or the 80s, which doesn't seem that old to me, but now it's considered pretty old. Anyway, some lovely magazines. This one is just from a home and garden magazine, another book page. I like the trees. I thought the trees were lovely, and this, of course, is obvious, the flowers. That one also has nice flowers on the back. more magazine bits. I like that orangey color. That makes, I've used that on one of the cards. It makes it nice and interesting. That's just a piece of paper. Another magazine piece over here. I thought it had some interesting texture over here. That would be fun in a journal, even like that. Or even some of the foliage. Put that down with some of the foliage. That was fun. More magazines. So honestly, go through your magazines, even those flyers that you get through the mail. I've even cut some things out of the Costco magazine, quite frankly. There's always something that can catch your eye. I also have a look for, in magazines and in books, particularly large print books. If you ever have a opportunity to get your hands on a large print book, sometimes the library sells them. You know how they put them on the tables out there for sale. Pick yourself up a large print book, because you can cut out words, and I've done many times. So I'll cut out summer there, I'll cut out garden, I'll cut out journal, along with the nice little illustrations, and I'll keep those for a journal down the road as well. And I have some exercise paper, just because I'm going to use that to put on the back of my journal cards where they need journaling opportunities. So I'm going to do that. Get that out of the way. I have some old, well, they're not old, they are little notepads that I pick up here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes they get given to you at Christmas time on magnets and things like that. My kids have given them to me. And I never throw things out like this. So I go and I've revived them all, brought them up to my little workspace that I have here, and I use them in journals. So those are fun. You can put those in tuck spots. And then of course there's the scrapbook papers that I happen to have scrapbook papers. They are fun to have. If you're going to get into journaling, honestly, go on Amazon and find yourself a 12 by 12 beautiful pad of scrapbook papers, whatever theme you might like to go with. There's flowery, there's outdoorsy, there's everything. Go and have a look. Just pick up one. It'll cost you about 15 bucks. You'll have it for the longest time. You can make many journals out of it. And the scrap pieces that you end up with, that you snip and cut and tear off for your journals, you keep for making ephemera, which is what we're doing today. So scrapbook pad, very, very handy to have. I keep, when I'm working on a journal, I always keep these three containers close at hand. One of them has little cutouts in that I've cut out from magazines, little sayings. I've cut out, you know, flowers. There's quotes in there, all sorts of little things that I use in my journals. So anyway, as I see things, I snip them, I put them in this little container. I mean, how many do I need? So I don't mean I do that every day. So I just, as I see things, when I'm watching TV, I'll take a magazine down there and I'll have a flip through, and that's how I do it. This is just, this changes up. I pick some fabric pieces out based on what I think might be nice in my journal, and I'm not too specific. I just grab and throw things in there along with some threads and ties, and yeah, keep that close at hand so everything is within reach, is what I'm saying. And this is just an ongoing collection of scrappy bits as I tear things off, as I scrunch things up, as I move on to the next project. Whatever's left over from that project, the snippings, there's oh, I'm going to pull those out, there's magazine pages that have been ripped up, etc., etc. I throw them in here because and then I keep it close at hand, because this is what I would like to pull from when I'm working. I guess I threw some pages in here earlier, so I'm just pulling those out. But anyway, that's just my scrappy bits container. So that's that. And then I have here, let me just lean over here, sorry. This is cardstock and pieces from card projects that I've worked on. I think I might have some of these in my journal right now, I'm not sure. But anyway, I thought this went nicely with the theme and the colorings of my journal. So I'll be using that. I kind of picked up my theme for my journal by looking at the cardstock that I chose, and that's what I normally do. So here, this could honestly be anything. I could have gone, you know, with very monochromatic throughout and used very antique-y looking, you know, some nice scrolled edge stamps, blah, blah, blah. But I picked up on all of it. I liked the gardening, the butterfly theme. I liked the, you know, there's a picture of a girl there, and I think that there's a picture of it. Yeah, there's a picture of a lady here. We're still very plant-based. You can see it looks like fabric ripped or pieces of paper that are ripped. So I have gone throughout with the garden, childlike, and what else? And just the overall old world charm, gardeny, outdoorsy, but definitely feminine look. That's what I've gone for. Yours is probably turning into something quite beautiful as well. I have some stickers. I'm not a huge sticker person. I don't have a lot of stickers. These ones I found at the dollar store, luckily. They don't have a lot of stickers in my dollar store, but these they happen to have, so I picked some up. I've antiqued the edges, and I think they're actually nice. I quite like them. I don't usually like a lot of stickers. These ones are nice. I've had these for years and years. I have no idea where I got them from, but I think we might use one or two there. Doesn't that look like that little girl that I just showed you? So it's funny how things just tie themselves in. Gosh, I'm not sure if it isn't the same one. Look at that. Huh? It is. It's exactly the same. That's bizarre. Who knew? Anyway, that is, that's a lucky find. Anyway, we'll put those aside and let's get working on some of our cards. Let's get myself organized here. Move that over there. Bring my papers closer together over there. And those over there. And okay, awesome. Let's get going. So I'm going to grab some of my, I buried them here somewhere. There they are. Nope, here they are. Sorry. There they are. My plain whites. My plain whites is what I'm looking for. So let's start with one. Let's start with one over there. And I'm going to go through my papers and let's decide what it is that we might like. I think I am going to start with a piece of paper, just a piece of book paper. I'm going to get those out the way over there. These are, let's see, I had something in mind earlier. Where is it? Here. That caught my eye earlier. That caught my eye. That and that. I think I'm going to do something like that. My journal I am making for a friend of mine, and she is definitely not a crafty type of person. So this journal is going to her very ready, very decorated, with nothing left for her imagination. She's a journaler. She loves to write. I don't know if she's a journaler, but she's a teacher, and I know she likes to write. So I'm going to, the journal is going to her very ready to be written in. And in one of the pockets, I want to put a little tea bag. I'm going to buy something very special. She lives far away from me, and I wish we could have a cup of tea and catch up, but we can't. So I'm going to send her a tea bag, and I'm doing a little tea theme here, and that's where I'll hide the tea bag, and a little note to say, I wish I could sit with you and have a long chat, catch up, and enjoy your company. So that's what this card is going to be all about. And that I'm going to tuck somewhere in the journal. So let's get going here. I'm going to, this might even turn out to be just two things. So what I normally do is I'm going to position my, actually I'm going to just tear here. I'm going to tear it. I'm going to tear it like that. I don't want to tear it over here because there's a couple of words there that I want to steal. Okay, there. So I am going to position that over here. Position that over there. And I think, yes, I'm going to do that. And I think that I'm going to, does that leave me much on the edge there? I think it does. I'm just going to rip it up over there, because that I'm going to just have the slightest, it'll be the slightest little overlay over there, but it'll be a little bit more on the top there. Okay, and then I'll probably put something over there with a little tag with the tea time or something on there. Okay, let's get going here. So what I'm going to do, grab my piece of paper here so that I can glue. I'm going to rip here as well. Just literally rip it like that, and just let it overhang. Let it overhang like that, because we're going to go afterwards with our scissors and snip. So don't try and cut it exact. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure your picture fits on, and I can see that mine does. So I'm going to grab my glue stick over here, and I'm just going to glue all over I go around the edges first. Go further than you think, because we're going to be sticking something down this side anyway. Okay, I have to tell you, so I've always been a little intimidated with making these journal cards. You know, I've watched so many other very talented ladies on their videos making journal cards, and they are an absolute work of art. They're very intricate stamps and lace and oh my goodness, and I've watched them in awe, and I've come back to my work that I do feeling very, very intimidated, because I feel that I can't make anything quite as beautiful as what they're working on, and which is really silly, because you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everything turns out really beautiful anyway, and you'll love the end result is what I'm trying to say. So don't be looking at what I'm doing and saying, oh, I don't have those supplies, or I can't do that. Look at what you have and work with that, and I promise you it will turn out absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I've never made anything and said, oh no, that's just nasty. I like how it turns out. I should have antiqued the edges, but we can still do that. You don't have to do that by any means. Oops, I'm going to lift that up because I didn't go over far enough. You can see that I did not do that. I'm going to go over just a little bit more. It's going to encroach over onto the teapot, but that's just fine. Maybe if I bring it down like that, it won't. Maybe I'll just tear it out a little bit there. You can see what's happening there. I'm going over the teapot. I don't really want to do that. La, 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 la. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's better. So now I'm going to have to just go in and glue here, because I didn't put enough glue on. Okay. Let's get it going over here. Glue that down. And some on the edges. Right on the edges there. There we go. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and we're just going to go around the edge here and snip them off. Snip the excess off is what we're going to do. Okay. So, hope you all had a lovely weekend. We had a very rainy weekend, but that's nice because we put some grass seed down. We put some topsoil down and then some grass seed. So that'll give the grass a good starting point. Still a little chilly, but summer's coming. Summer's coming. There we go. Okay, that's that. I'll just get that out the way, because I'm sure we will revisit that. Move that out the way, and make sure that everything is stuck down. There we go. So there we are. I like that, and I think I'm going to put just a little something. I've decided. I think I'm going to do a little. No, I know what I decided to do. Where did that magazine piece go? Here. Was that it? That's it there. I am going to do tea time. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut through here. And I'm going to, where did I see tea time? Right there, right there. There, and tea time. There, that's what I want. I am going to use that on here, but I think I might put a tiny little piece of fabric. So let's bring this in. La la. Something that's going to show that up. Maybe something like that. I'm going to just, I don't know if these scissors are going to cut it. They're not very sharp. Oh, there we go. Not too bad, like that. And I'm just going to thread. Pull some threads here just so that we have some nice threads going at the top and the bottom and on the sides. Okay. And the tea time is there, so I'm just going to size it like that. Oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. Tiny little bits like that. And now I'm going to just cut the other side there like that. And let's see how that goes. Let's pull some of those off. I won't sweep that on the floor. I actually put that in a waste paper basket. There we go. As simple as that, guys. As simple as that. So what do you think of that? I think that looks sweet. I think that looks sweet. But before I do that, I'm going to grab my corner edger, because that's what I like to do. I'm going to corner edge that and there and there. Okay, and I'm also going to antique my edges. I'm just going to do this as we go along, just so that you can see an end result. Sometimes I do them all and then I come back and do my antiquing, but not today. We're going to be doing some antiquing as we go. That's got glue on it there, so I'm just folding that over and grabbing my little handy dandy tool. I'm just going to antique the edges there, and then we'll go back and stick the sticker on. So there we go. And I am going to punch a hole in this one as well, just because I'm going to be putting some ribbon on. You don't have to punch them all, so save some that don't have ribbon on, and then use some that do have ribbon, thread, whatever. It just gives it a nice, interesting look. So I actually quite like the white down there now. Remember I said I thought I might have liked to have antiqued the edge that was sticking out, but I think I like that little bit of white, which makes me think I should have maybe added something a little bit whiter than that. Maybe I should have added something a little bit whiter than that. Do you think? Let's have a look. Maybe a little bit of lace sticking out the bottom. Why not? Why not? It's a special occasion. It's a little mini tea party. There we go. How about that? And now that has brought the white in. Hey, what do you think of that? I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So I'm going to grab my glue. This is the special glue that is used for fabric. So I'm going to put, I guess we're going to have it there, over there. So I'm going to just put a little gob of glue over there. Put my lace down like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the back of this one and stick it on top. And then we'll put this aside to dry. So a little bit there. And stick that down. And of course I'm just going to give it a gentle press so that it goes through the lace and sticks like that. And where'd my tea time go? Whew, thought I'd lost that. I think I might just antique a little. It's going to be finicky, but I'm going to try and antique a little bit around the edges of this. There we go. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. There we go. Around the edge like that. Teensy little thing. There. I think it'll just make it stick out a little bit more. Flip that over like that. A pair of tweezers would probably be very handy. I've often thought that. I have big hands, and sometimes working with teensy-weensy things, I'm just going to mush that off a little bit and grab my cloth. Get rid of that off my fingers. I'm forever picking glue off my fingers. Oh my goodness, this is teeny, 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 teeny. And I'm going to put that there. How's that? Give it a gentle press. Let's press it down gently like that. I think that's just as sweet as can be. It's plain. I used 2 pieces of paper and a couple of pieces of fabric cut out from a magazine, the same magazine that I'm using, that I cut the picture from. And there we have it. How simple was that, guys? How simple was that? Okay, let's move on to another one. Let's get that out the way, and I'm going to put that with the others over there. So I saw something in amongst these here that I thought I quite liked. Yeah, there's a tree there, and I remember I have one of my magazine pieces, which is right over here, had a tree, had tree bits in it. I had some leaves over there, and trees. Let's see what we can make here. Let's see what we can make. So this is a scrap piece of paper from some coffee dyed paper that I had used in a journal, and it's got some stamping on it that I must have done at the time. This is from an old book, so I think I'd like the tree sticking out there, and I think I might like maybe the branches coming up like that. And then a little bit of journaling space or something on the front. Put the leaves down like that. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. I'm just going to hold my card up to the light so I can see where the tree is going to go. And it's going to go, I want it in the very top corner, which will be there. So I'm just going to bend that over so I can see. Let's see, yeah, that's what I want. I'm just going to bend that over like that, and bend that over like that so I can see where I'm going to be gluing. That's what I'm doing here. There. So I think I'm going to rip that like that. And I'm going to do the tree coming down like that, but I think I'm going to have that overlaying, and then that piece is going to come. That piece is going to come, I think, down like that. Okay, let's get going here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rip my magazine here. Like that, because I want my magazine to be like that. And I want my tree to be like that. I want my tree there. And then I'm going to do this. This is going to be, I think I might rip it a little bit so that we can see what's going on over here like that. I'm going to rip it like that. And does that come to the end? It comes to the end of my, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I don't want that nice and clean. I want that nice. And then I'm just going to rip this down here because I don't need all of that. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be like that, but that's going to come over there. There. I think that's kind of cute, except I think I'm going to bring that down just a little bit more. I'm literally just eyeballing this. Does it make any difference one way or the other? Absolutely not, but I sort of wanted to frame that little bit at the top like that. So I am going to go ahead with that. There we go. And I like the trees on the edge there. So I'm going to just rip that off and put that there. So let's get gluing here. There. There's my piece of paper. So I've got a glue around the edges, so we want to make sure that this sticks down good. So there we go. So I kind of know where my tree fits on there like that. Okay, that's great. It sticks on like that. Now I'm going to, let's see, put that on there, and then I'm wondering if I didn't tear that too. I was too generous in my tearing there. Oh my goodness me. Oh no, maybe not. No, maybe we'll do it like that. No, I want that. I want that sticking out. So I'm going to lift that up a little, and we'll put something down the bottom over there. Just another piece down the bottom here. I'm just literally going to grab a piece of paper here and here. And let's stick that there like that. Actually, you know what? I just don't like that. I don't like that one. But you see, everything is possible. Everything is possible. You can make a mess of things. You definitely can. And I think I just did that. I'm going to go with this. I am going to go with this rather. There we go. There we go. I prefer that. Definitely prefer that. And then we can decorate this. We're going to leave this for some kind of decoration. That's what we're going to do. So I just want to bring the wording of the song out a little bit. And let's do that. Okay, that's what we've got. That's what we're working with now, which is fine, which is fine. Let me grab my sticky pad here, and let's do. It's honestly, it unfolds before your eyes is what happens. It unfolds before your eyes. So just don't get discouraged. Put your pieces together, and that's the way we wanted it, like that. Get your pieces together, put them on, lay them down, and see what it looks like. And if you don't like it, you know, pick up another piece of paper and go back to square one. There's always a plan B. Always a plan B. So there we go. I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and flat. Okay, and then my tree went where? Where did my tree go? There it is, there. And I'm going to put that down like that. There we go. That's what we want. So we're looking up into the trees, which I love. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So let's turn that over, and I'm going to do the edge like that. There we go. And let's get that stuck on. Now I know I'm going to be snipping off the edge there, so I'm not going to put the glue all the way over. But if you do, that's fine as well. So let me try and get this on nicely. Yeah, like that. Gently push it on with my fingers like that. And now we're going to go around and snip. Okay, I'll grab my scissors, which I've got buried somewhere. There they are. Let's go around and snip and neaten things up here. Okay, like that. So what a good idea is to have your book handy, obviously, which it will be. Just flip through the pages and get a general feel for the look that you're going for when you're making your ephemera. So if your book is primary colors and you have some beautiful bright pages, well, you know that's going to be your theme. You use bright color flowers, you use you know, things that are striking and bright color ribbon and that kind of stuff. If yours is like mine, that's more on the muted antique vintage look, you know, then you're going to go for something that's more like this. So it's all totally, I like that. I think that's kind of sweet. I do. I like that. I'm just going to put something over here.